Well, Jim, before we wrap things up, and there are so many of these, and we're going to go through them.
We're going to do multiple parts on this because there's a lot of stuff in here as you go through in chronological order that has been lost to history. But you were just tickled pink about something that we found. You want to spill the beans or you want me to?
Well, I'll just say that one of the cool revelations in going through these is that while you previously revealed here on the show, I think the first ever 6-star match and the first 6.5-star match, now that I think about it, we all assumed that the very first 5-star match was Jerry Lawler versus Terry Funk.
Yes, we did.
And it turns out not only was there more than one Jerry Lawler versus Terry Funk 5-star match, but that was not even the first known 5-star match. And we have a new one for you to reveal here today.
And I was there for that one too, and I didn't even remember it. But here's the fucking deal. Is, as I mentioned, Norman and I would go to Cincinnati. And sometimes, every once in a while, we'd take somebody else, sometimes just be us. But the first times that Crockett started running Cincinnati, the shows were always on weekends. And usually my weekends were free because Louisville ran on Tuesday, Evansville, Indiana on Wednesday, Lexington, Kentucky, first Thursday of every month, or a Kentucky spot show on Thursday. I was during the middle of the week, I was doing my work, and then the weekend was free unless I went to Memphis. So we started going to Cincinnati, and then for whatever reason, they switched up and started running Cincinnati every once in a while on a Monday night. And so one particular week, we did a Cincinnati on Monday, Louisville on Tuesday, Evansville on Wednesday. It was hectic. And that was about a week and a half before the very first Jerry Lawler, Terry Funk match in Memphis, March 23rd, 1981, that we have talked about, was so fucking crazy. And then Weasel, who did not go with me to the March 23rd match that I thought that he had, instead, according to his sheets, it was a couple of weeks later, on April 6th, that Weasel went with me to Memphis when Lawler and Plowboy Frazier wrestled both of the Funks, Terry and Dory. So all of these were being conflated in my 40-year-old memories, but it comes down to this. On March 9th in Cincinnati, Ohio at the Gardens, it was probably the best card that Crockett ever put there. And there were several main events that were incredible, including, you remember from seeing the videotape, Blackjack Mulligan in the Carolinas and the Iron Sheik, when he could still go, had a heck of a fucking program and a long-running series of matches, right?
Right.
And we got to see Blackjack Mulligan against the Iron Sheik. This was, hold on, I'm trying to read. Weasel didn't do paragraphs well. Mulligan pinned the Iron Sheik with a flying crossbody off the top rope. 9 minutes, 33 seconds, got 4 stars because, again, this was one of the wild ones, double juice, people are going crazy. Then they followed it up with a completely different style of match, Ricky Steamboat and Jimmy Snuka, 2 athletes like that. And the Snuka at the time was the most impressive physical specimen we were seeing. When he was a heel in the Carolinas in the early 80s and still in shape, it was amazing. That one, not only did Steamboat beat Snuka, but then they had a big brawl after it was over. That got 4.5 stars. And then for the United States heavyweight title, Roddy Piper versus Nature Boy Ric Flair. And Flair got in the ring, and I remember this. Minutes passed before Piper came out. And then he came out doing his whole thing, the bagpipes, blah, blah, blah. Flair stopped him, got into it, and they had a heck of a fucking match. Tommy Young was the referee. I'd never even met Tommy at that point, but these are the first times I'd seen him in person. And basically, Flair and Piper tore the house down for 20 minutes, and Flair won on disqualification. Piper kept the United States title, and Weasel described it as This was the best match that I have seen in quite some time. 5 stars. So he didn't even say we're breaking the scale for this one. So I'm wondering if he did it before, because like I said, since it meant so little to us as a thing in relation to everything else, what we were seeing, the results of the match, etc., is just something we did.